Howdy everyone, Polcher here with an Age of Magic video. In today's video we are going to do the hero spotlight for Morning Glory, the healer for the Wild Elf faction. In the video there is a part of her description missing that I haven't talked about, so I have refilmed the intro of this video to mention it. Part of her leadership ability at level 7 is that she is hidden in battle. So she has like a Mabe effect to her and a Balara effect to her. The description isn't in the video, so I didn't mention it, but it is part of her kit. So we'll jump into the video now and we'll look at her stats and her in some fight scenarios and what I think of her, and you guys can make up your mind on what you think of her. So let's jump into it. So getting into it, Morning Glory has 1.8 million HP, speed 236, which is pretty fast. So not bad speed. Armor 15k, magic damage resistance 38k, magic damage is 137k. Magic critical hit chance is a high again with 41%, and magic critical damage 229k. So pretty decent stats, a bit low on the health, but the speed pretty decent. We'll go through the stats. You guys can pause it wherever you want and have a look at anything that you want. But honestly, all I can say is if the other wild elves were built to the same caliber as she, this would be a solid faction. It would be a really solid faction. But we'll go over the abilities. We'll jump into the arena, just test a few things, and you guys can decide what to do. So her basic attack is Heaven's Flash. It triggers the healer class mark. Deals damage to one target. Has a 33% chance for a random ally to perform a support attack after another ally attacks. So I don't know if that's like a passive or how that works, but whatever. We'll go and attack. Let's attack Abaddon. We'll see what the animation looks like for her basic attack. Okay. Pretty much a female Ilios in there as a support attack. So I'm pretty sure it just means when she attacks, not an ally attacks. When she attacks, because there's no debuff on that target now. I don't know how that would activate after an ally attacks. So from a basic attack, it can do pretty decent damage, especially with her high crit chance. And yeah, it's just female Ilios really with her basic attack. So pretty cool. We'll move on to her first special. So moving on to her first special, we've got Forest Echoes. Other allies regain 100% HP from the damage they deal when they next strike an enemy. So that's already a huge amount of healing, especially if you crit or you do an AoE. That is a lot of healing. Has a 20% chance per wild elf in the party that the next time other allies are healed, it will be 20% more effective. So with a full wild elf team, that's a 100% chance. A lot of healing again. Has a 20% chance per wild elf in the party to cast a buff on other allies that increases the damage they deal by 20% per ally with the same buff. So again, full wild elf team, and you have a 100% chance, and that's a lot of damage for the first character to cast their attack. That's a 100% damage buff. Yeah, by 20% per ally. So yeah, 100% damage buff. If you can time it right and get Sindariel to attack, it's a lot of damage. Unfortunately, I don't think it will with the speed setup. Sindariel goes first in the battle. So, in terms of the ability, the first part itself is a tremendous heal. Compared to a lot of other healing abilities out there, that's a lot of healing already. This other stuff, I mean, I would consider her from this ability a top tier healer, but it's just, unless it's a full wild elf team, it's RNG, and I don't like that. Like this, I guess Sacrifice is powerful with Archons, so it makes sense she's powerful. But God, that is a strong ability, especially it's such a wasted ability on the wild elves though. Because what are they gonna? They don't fuck. Anyway, let's see what the ability looks like. Forest Echoes. We cast it. Man, the ability's always going to look awesome. As you can see, they get a bunch of buffs. And yeah, that can deal a lot of damage. As you can see, we've got Sindariel here. She's got so let's just see. We'll put it on slow motion. We'll do the AoE because she should have a 100% damage buff at the moment. And what's she going to be able to accomplish? A 200k. Oh, and a 700k crit support attack. Okay, I think it's because she's a demon. That's new range. It does something fancy against demons and Arakan undead. So I mean, that's a lot of damage. It can be a lot of damage. 200k. I mean, there was no crits in there. I'm sure if there was a crit, it'd be even better. But maybe it's worth trying to get that ability working on a single target and whopping a huge amount of damage on a single target instead of wasting it on an AoE. So yeah, pretty cool ability. Pretty strong, especially with a wild elf setup. I wish she was part of a brotherhood and you could mess around with other characters as well. This ability with a brotherhood would be awesome. So good. It would make her such a good hero. Anyway, we'll move on to her next ability and see what that's about. Moving on to her second special ability, Life Giving Spring. Restores 40% of other allies' maximum HP. If Gloriana has 100% HP, she resurrects a random wild elf in the party. The next time another wild elf in the party takes killing damage, they will survive and regain 50% of their maximum HP. So I mean, I honestly feel like if she was, we'll go have a look at the animation. Look at the animation. So there we go. Awesome orb, swirly golden. I mean, who's not going to be happy with the animations? All right. So comments. If she should be the boss. This character should be the boss. Get rid of Sindariel. Just turn her into something else. This character should be the boss of the Wild Elves. She is what a boss, like, she shits on Sindariel. It's as simple as that. Restores 40% HP to maximum HP for all allies of other allies. Yeah, it doesn't even say Wild Elves, so that's all healers, all characters on the team. If Gloriana has 100% HP, she resurrects a random Wild Elf. I wish that was just a straight up resurrect. Why 100% HP? The amount of damage that comes out in battles these days, having her on 100% HP is not going to be easy, especially by the time someone dies in a fight. I mean, sure, you're going to be able to hide her with Colonel, but at the same time, just give her put a bit of Cathbad into her. Just let her resurrect a wild elf without any condition. That's I mean, if she can't resurrect, then turn that into an extra heal or something. I don't like that. It's conditional. The next time another wild elf in the party takes killing damage, they will survive and regain 50% of their HP. So, as I can see on the field at the moment, all of the heroes have the prevent from death, but it says the next time another wild elf in the party takes killing damage. So, does that only work on one? Like, if one person survives, is that it? I'm going to pause the video and find out how this scenario works. Okay, so returning to battle, they got Idril down to critical. Well, they killed her, and she came back with 50% HP, and the other wild elves on the team remained with the buff, so they will return to 50% HP when they're taken down to a killing blow. That's pretty strong. That is a really strong. What would you even call it? Killing blow, survivability, whatever. 50 being brought back to 50% HP. That's far stronger than Sacrif's. Being able to, you see, it's really hard. This ability heals for a lot, so you'd want to use it whenever you can to get your characters topped up. At the same time, you wouldn't want to use this ability if there's a character like Roynar on the other team. You'd want to use it after he casts his ability to remove buffs from the from you, because he will remove that I'm just going to call it the invulnerability. He would remove that invulnerability, and it's a waste. That's every character being, except for Gloriana by the looks of it, being brought back to life with 50% HP. That's huge. That is a huge ability. So people would have to test it if you can survive, because she has a lot of natural healing anyway. I think she has a lot of healing on her leadership ability, which we'll see in a second. But if the leadership ability is enough to keep characters alive, timeout, that's fine. and you can work this ability around a character that removes debuffs, and your characters come back with 50% HP. That's huge. She's an amazing healer. She's an amazing healer in a wild elf setting. So there's that. All right, we'll move on to a leadership ability because that does a lot as well. So we'll head over, look at that. So looking at her leadership ability, we've got Starlight Bearer. Increases damage that allies do to Dark Elves by 30%. So are these already going to be a counter to Dark Elves? Honestly, I wouldn't care. Wouldn't give a shit. As long as the Dark Elves can beat the Archons like they've been promised to do. So far, they're a bit of a wet willy. They're not doing a tremendous amount. They can win with a bit of RNG, but whatever. Every time an ally deals critical damage, all other Wild Elves in the party regain 20% HP, and other allies except Gloriana half that amount. So, does Gloriana heal from this? It's weird wording a little bit, except Gloriana. So does that mean she doesn't get healed at all? We'll find out. I'll find out for you guys. When another wild elf in the party is healed, there's a 30% chance they will reduce incoming damage by 50%. Like, this is what I mean. She should be the boss. This should be the boss character of the wild elves. Sindariel does nothing like her. Like, what's Sindariel got? With wild elves, she got a speed boost on her, and she can do some good damage. Oh, whipty fucking do. This character can heal, bring characters back to 50% HP, damage reduction, extra damage against a certain faction, healing off crit. She's got a lot. This character is amazing, and I feel like it is a tremendous waste. A tremendous waste in the Wild Elf setting. Because what are the Wild Elves? Maybe they might start with her as their leader. They might be able to beat most other teams. I can't see this being able to beat Archons, though. And I know not everything should be able to beat the Archons, but who enjoys Archons anymore? I like this character. I really do. I think she's an awesome character. In terms of most beautiful character, Sia Oraheim, whatever your name is. Already forgotten about her because got my eyes set on this one. She does a lot for a Wild Elves. I'm hoping they can be used in some combination. I guess when Dark Elves are finally released, and if their promise is kept and they can beat Archons, you're gonna start seeing different teams, in the arena, in tournament. And when you come against a Dark Elf team, especially in tournament, you may be able to use Wild Elves and come out unharmed. Especially with Idril, Dark Elves aren't going to be faster than the Wild Elves. Your Idril will be able to put the enemy Drake to sleep. If you can put the enemy Drake to sleep, you can focus the Roinar. You got Azario as well, but that's fine, doesn't matter. I feel like they can do, and it's just a shame because they're just such a good looking faction as well. So opinions on her, I think she's an amazing hero. She really shines with Wild Elves over a mixed faction, obviously. She should be the boss of the Wild Elves. Get rid of Sindariel. What is Sindariel? I feel like Sindariel is probably the worst character of the Wild Elves, if anything. I think she's good. I don't know what more to say. I think she can do a lot. We'll see when people start testing her and using her against different teams. I like her, and I just wish she had a better support team. I think people would love to use her. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. If you do have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below. I'll answer to the best of my ability. And wherever you are in the world, until next time, please take care of yourself.